going solo today. Unfortunately, Juhani couldn't make it, and neither can Enrique. So yeah, so you just got me today. So I won't make this a very long one. Just I wanted to follow up on some of the stuff we were doing yesterday, where Enrique was busy doing some refactoring. So I thought let's try and wrap that up, because what we're trying to do for the end of this week is to get this feature complete enough that we just start using it. So let me get a few things set up here whilst we're going. I just want to push out to Mastodon that we're doing something. So let me just, I've got a slightly new setup today. I've been trying to optimize my setup for these live streams. Mostly just getting off my day-to-day work computer, because there's just too much stuff on there. I don't want to dox myself or any of the work we do or that sort of stuff. So just trying to segregate things. But let me just do this quick post out onto Mastodon before we get started here, and then I'll dig into, there we go, it's gonna be interesting doing all the talking and all the typing. Let's see how well that goes. Okay, that's out. Good stuff, good stuff. Okay, let's start sharing screens and we can have a look at the state of the project. So, you'll probably get to hear all my weird quirks and noises that I make whilst doing this stuff on my own. It's pretty laggy on my new setup at the moment. Why is that? Okay, let's try and get the screen share working. And that's not going too well. Okay. Well, this kind of sucks. So, screen share is. Hello, Riverside. Is Riverside gonna help me here? It's not allowing screen sharing right now, which is pretty. Oh, finally. Yeah. That's kind of weird. Okay, there we go. We got screen sharing finally. That's good stuff. Okay, so yeah, as I say, yesterday we were working with Enrique to refactor the YouTube thumbnailer that we were building. Johanna and I were really just throwing features in, just constant feature, without really caring about code quality, code organization, that sort of stuff. We really just wanted to understand how the tool's going to work, kind of get something functioning that we can then feel like we're on the right track and so forth. And I think that's a great approach, really. Don't worry too much about getting correct, just get things functionally as they should be. But at some point, of course, yeah, you can't just leave it to get ugly and unmanageable. And we kind of talked about some of the downsides of having a code base that's already refactored and looked after, even with LLMs. I mean, LLMs not going to have a problem reading 1,000 lines of code, but if it gets bigger and bigger, yeah, context gets big as the project explodes for larger ones, and the LLM is just going to have a harder time keeping up with what's going on. So we've got a refactoring plan that Enrique put together. So let's see, we didn't really look at this too much yesterday. We kind of ended up getting sort of distracted and talking about a few things. So let's just go through this at a high level. So I think this was pretty obvious. This massive app.jsx, that's about 1,300 lines of code at the moment. That's pretty unwieldy. Let's see what else. We've got app.py is also growing pretty big. Let's see what else is going on here. Now, hold on a sec before I go too much further. API fragility, lack of validation. Yeah, I'm not sure we're going to worry about that too much for a second. Memory and slate bloat. Yeah, that could also be. Yeah, that could be something we try and tackle. Oh yeah, and some magic numbers and stuff. Yeah, we could probably put those into some sort of configuration. Although, to be honest, I think for YouTube, I think there's fairly fixed dimensions for things. So before I go too much further, guys, I'm just watching the stream here. It's like super pixelated here. I think what I'm going to do, bear with me a sec, I'm just going to go and cable up here and put my, yeah, I'm just going to cable up here, kill the camera for a sec, and I'm going to put the machine straight into my router here because the Wi-Fi is just not hacking it. It's super unhappy here. Yeah, let me grab a cable, one sec. Okay. Right. Got an Ethernet cable. A brand new one, in fact. Yeah. But let me just put that into my router and see how that goes. Yeah. Normally I just forgot a cable up this time. Normally I do. But no one's going to see anything if we keep going like this. So, brand new cable means cable ties, so those have to get undone. There we go. There we go. One goes in there. Other one, of course, is the most awkward spot possible, but let's get it in anyway. There we go. Okay now. Okay. Hopefully now we're gonna slowly see an improvement in the stream quality here. Let's see. Okay. Let's give it a minute or two to hopefully get a little bit better before I go too much further. When it's impossible to see, there's probably not much point. So, yeah, I think let's do some of this refactoring up front before we go too much further with features. I think we'll try and tackle the app.js, and we'll try and tackle the maybe the app.py and try and start those ones first. So is that stream quality getting better? I hope so. It's better. Okay. Anyway, let's get cracking. I think what I'll do is I'm gonna choose. Maybe I just choose Gemini for today. Let's do. What have we got? Medium? No, let's go high. Yeah, those names are a bit long. It kind of doesn't help. You can't really see the full name here. There you go. That's great. Okay, let's do this. Read through the factoring plan. Start by refactoring app.jsx. Now, let's do. Enrique was kind of keen. I mean, I would probably do this as well. Kind of keen to start through with plan mode, and so it can get a chance to think about the changes before it makes them. So let's kind of do that. So, okay, let's see what it says. So, okay. So yeah, it might be a little dull with one person on the stream, just to wait for, in this case, Gemini to do its thing. Let's see what happens here. Okay. So I'm only using Gemini here really because I think Enrique was doing this with Gemini, so I just wanted to see if there's some consistency. Okay, phase one. Okay, we're going to break out some constants. It's going to create utils. Okay. Okay, the snapping piece, it wants to, that's probably makes sense to keep that separate because that's going to just get used in part of the tool. Extract API and state management. Yep, okay. I guess we've got this now, this API with a backend. That's fine. Okay, got some hooks going on. That's okay. Componentized UI. I guess that can't hurt, right? Especially for bits that get used in one screen versus another. So that's probably makes sense. Well, okay. Safety nets, as that definition done. Okay, we can do the smoke test afterwards. I think we're just going to dive in and just make that refactor. If all goes wrong, we can always just back our way out of this and commit. Plan looks good. Execute. So I'm trying to be a little bit more concise with instructions at the moment. Try to give the LLM to think up front and then just say, do the work. There's not much more to say really once you do that. So, so that's probably going to take a little while to run. A little worried that stream quality is going to be just trash all the way through. I've got a second screen here with YouTube running, the live YouTube running in the background, so I can see, although, okay, it's improved a bit. That's fine. I think it's probably, I'm not sure whether it's just my YouTube playback is going to be trash because I'm recording and streaming at the same time. Yeah, maybe I'll kill that for now. And I think I'm going to just check my, yeah, I'll just, okay. Okay. So Juhani's writing to me telling me that I'm using his name in the stream. So guys, I'm not Juhani. You probably figured that out by now. So for those who know him. So okay, so it's working on the APIs, and okay, it's already done some of the calculation pieces here. What's else going on here? Okay, these are all hard coded at the moment, so that we'll fix another time. Constants is put in. Okay, so we're making good progress. That's for sure. If we still have some time today, I might look into extending the features library. So at the moment, the library is really just URL encoded strings of image data. So totally refresh the page and everything's gone. Maybe that's okay. Maybe we don't need to keep them persistent. I don't want to overcomplicate things and have like massive, I don't want to have like databases. I don't really think we need to have that because this is not going to run centrally. So it's kind of like a one-shot tool. I use it, create the thumbnail, then it's gone. But maybe there's a way we can do some local storage on some of these things. So at least, you know, if I have to step away or, you know, I have something in my browser crashes, something, you know, it's not a complete disaster and I don't lose absolutely everything. So we could think about adding that in, especially because I think tomorrow, one of the things we want to do is we want to add some image editing and we want to be able to get the images, you know, the color balance is the same. We want to just maybe get some sharpness in the images and from the screenshots. So once we start doing some image manipulation, yeah, I think we probably want something a bit more robust than what we've got going at the moment. Where are we now? Okay, it's creating the control panel JSX. Still making some good progress here. And then, actually I made a mistake of not running this before we started refactoring. That was kind of a bit, I guess I was juggling a few moving parts. But anyway, yeah, let's assume it was working. I don't think Enrique really made any code changes, so I don't think there's anything to really break from yesterday. All the breaking I can do on my own without the help of anyone else. Okay. Yeah, this is nice to see. Okay, we've still got a fair bit still to do. We've got here now 4 or 5 more tasks to do. We'll get through that. So let's see, whilst that's working, let's see what it's talking about, this payload management. Okay, so I think it's store thumbnails in index.db instead of local storage. Okay. Yeah, we can definitely do that. Yeah, these basic default blobs, yeah. I think that just gets it's okay for getting things working, but I don't think we know. I want to keep that going forward. Okay, styling. I don't think we really care too much about some modular CSS, to be honest, in this tool. It's not big enough to really care about. That feels like overcomplicating things. So I think we might ignore that. Yeah, smoke test, verification plan. Now these are some things I think Enrique was trying to do yesterday, if I remember correctly. So let's see, we want to have default checks. Logo, missing logo fallback. Empty base render. Shows a pillar drawing engine. Builds for canvas without assets. Okay. I guess that's the preview piece. What's next here? Full feature render. Yeah, okay, we want to check that. That's working. Background removal ping. Okay. That's probably not a bad one. Manual smoke tests. Okay. Let's see. Export integrity. Yeah, okay. One thing I'm going to do, guys, I'm just going to take this out. No, not that one. I'm just going to take my Riverside screen and see whether I can change the name on it. I'm just going to put it down here. See what I can change whilst in midstream. Yeah, sorry, Juhani. I can't change that midstream. You're going to have to just live with your name being defiled by me. Sorry about that. Okay, definition of done. Upon completing. Okay, single commit changes. Semantic versioning messages. Push to remote. Okay. Create a PR via GitHub CLI. Well, yeah, okay, well, we're using GitLab, but, I mean, we're using, not even GitLab, we're using Codeberg. So, probably don't want that. We might change that. But, I reckon, yeah, I think in this case, we probably don't need the PR. Again, we're aiming for kind of speed of execution here. We're not worrying too much about super correctness everywhere. I think getting the task done is really the name of the game in this one, rather than following kind of beautifully crafted workflows. User review required. Okay. I think there's probably more in here than we need, but that's fine. That's fine. That's maybe. We'll just pick and choose what we want. But unfortunately, watching Gemini refactor the code is not the most exciting. Unfortunately. But we're on the last bit now. Run linter final time. Yes, please. That's pretty good. Okay. Status. So one thing I think I would probably change here is we're about to run into git commit, which, you know, I would rather make some changes, run it, test it, see how it is, and then probably manually commit. So yeah, each to their own, I guess, right? And for sure you can back out of a commit, but usually I like to do commits when I want to do them. Run as a sort of sacred everything that's done without thought. But anyway, it's not a bad thing either. Okay. Configure git user locally. Why is it doing that? Okay. Oh, it's going to want to create a PR. Okay, I didn't really want to do that. But we're in it. We're in it now. We're in it all the way. So we'll have to see. Okay. Okay. Almost done. Almost done. So, public chats. Okay, there we go. That was a fair bit of work to do in one go. Yeah, okay. This is clear. Like the PR is not going to work, right? Because it's going to try and use a GitHub command line utility. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to comment that out because I think we're just not going to be doing that, right? Well, actually it's markdown. I'm not going to comment that out. Yeah, sorry, Enrique. I'm just going to kill it. And I'm also going to just kill that for now. Yeah. I don't think I want to be doing pushes to remotes as a standard. Especially when we're just trying to get through some cycles and early stage of getting a working tool going. Okay. So let's run this guy. Start up. So now this is, this machine's feeling very laggy at the moment. Well, I'm not sure it's a machine, to be fair. Oh, well, we've got a couple of, okay, startup, dev.sh. Okay. Let's open that up. Put that in a new window here. I'll put it in a new window and then I'll drag it in so we can see it. Local host 55,000. And that's not reaching. Oh, hold on, wait. Of course, all services stopped. And why did that happen? Starting Flask. Local host on. Okay, Flask is still starting. Okay. Yeah, this is super laggy on this machine that I'm using. Now I wonder whether it's the. Okay, I'm running Z without an NVIDIA GPU on this machine, which it doesn't like, for sure it doesn't like. So what's going on here now? Yeah, this is. Okay, that should be working. Localhost. But we're getting a 404, so the URL not found. That's also not good. So backend is 5173, localhost 5000. Okay, no errors as such. Let's just get into here. Check that you can connect to site on localhost. Let's just see if Gemini is also. Oh, we don't have any startup errors. Front end seems to have started up okay. I mean, yeah, it's a development server, that's fine. Serving Flask, okay. Yeah, let Gemini do the heavy lifting of figuring out what's going on. I don't think port 5000 is going to be the problem. Presumably, I don't think there's anything else running on it. Although, having said that, let me see here. No, I didn't run it when I pulled the code last time. Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay, Gemini. Yeah. Okay, so it's fetching. It's got some success here. So that's this one here. Check if the API is running, return the template, and the answer was yes. Or at least it got a 200, so that's good. Yeah, I suspect there's something going on here with the refactoring. Maybe the invite configuration is the problem here. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we could have broken the connection between the front and the back end, right? Because we did change the. Okay, the backend API successfully. Well, hold on. Am I being a dork here? Yeah, I'm being a dork here. Okay, that's my bad. 5173. Okay. I'm getting my front end and back end mixed up here. It's always better streaming in pairs because somebody can catch your stupid moves like that. Okay. So we've got, let's see now. Let's got the thumbnail in here. The screen caps. And let's just take one of these. Well, okay, background not removed, so that kind of broke. I think Enrique was having a couple of problems with this, I think, yesterday. And this one again not. So we're consistently struggling to get, let me just sort of preview so we know what we're going to look at. That one was from the other day. Yeah, okay, so we've definitely broken the image. Okay, no errors coming out though. Let's see whether I can't remember whether Enrique put together, might be a good idea to put a smoke test in here. Okay, let's just switch back into plan. I need to get my Z shortcuts into my muscle memory. I think it's Control Shift Tab, something like that. Yeah, there you go, Shift Tab. So, did the smoke test for testing the image background removal get implemented already. Let's see. Okay, I really think this. Unfortunately, this new setup I've got running here, I've got a separate machine for these streams. I don't think it's going to cut it. Well, not running Z if I want to keep running Z anyway. It's doing software rendering rather than GPU rendering, and it's just really laggy. I think that's not gonna be sustainable. I think I'll have to either switch to using something else or yeah, we shall see. Okay, I will create lightweight test smoke. So what do we want to do here? Template, because I don't think we want to have smoke tests. Like, I didn't want to do all the smoke tests. I think we just want to have this AP remove background. That's what they call it, background removal ping. I think let's get that in there, because then we can. That seems to be the piece that's broken a few times now. So let's put a smoke test in here for that. Implementation plan, template default check. Okay, let's just do this. I only want background removal ping test. So let's ask it to strip away from the implementation plan everything that's not the background removal ping. Well, having said that, I'm not sure that's, now I'm reading the details of the text. I'm not sure how helpful that's going to be. So, correctly process a small hard-coded pixel stub to make sure it doesn't crash. Well, it can't hurt to put that in, but okay, well, let's implement it, because I'm not sure we're seeing anything crashing here. So that's we haven't looked at the browser, but okay, that's the smoke test. Smoke test. Okay, let's do that. While it's doing that, let's just have a quick. I remember my DevTools shortcuts. Is that right? Yeah, Shift Control C. Connection reviews, thumbnail preview, removal failed to fetch. Okay, well, maybe these are the ones that we'll ask Gemini to inspect. But let's at least have this smoke test in, get it running. I might just open up another shell or terminal here. Okay, it's going to run it here anyway. it's really not doing very much. Sending over this stub image, checking it's getting back. It's not. Yeah. And it's not crashing. Okay. There's the API call. I suspect this would run a lot faster with a better machine setup. I've got a bunch of older machines that I think I'm cycling through to use for dedicated on the streaming. So I've got another machine in mind I think I'll have to switch to. Okay. Okay. Bye-bye, ran successfully. Received valid response. Okay. Okay, so we can run that I would like the smoke test to verify that the image has really been cut out properly. Let me ask if let me see whether we can do something like that. Switch back into plan mode. I would run a smoke test for the background removal. That checks the success of the actual removal function. To do this. Okay. So we're going to need some, probably would like some test data, right? I'm curious to see what it's going to propose that we use here. Give it some thinking to do in this case. Finding image generation. Okay, let's see what it's going to come back with. New test method to test, called test active background removal. Generate a synthetic opaque input instead of using hardcode transparent pixel. Test using Pillow, which is this Python library. Generate small fully opaque image in memory. It will have the alpha value fully visible. It converts because we feed the opaque image, the return image contains it's just removed. I wonder if we could feed it. Maybe let's feed it. Ask it to pick one of the images from the screen caps. I would quite like the smoke test to really check that against the real image. I'm not sure if the synthetic image proposal is really going to the charm of it is standalone. It's that it's self-encapsulated test. The drawback of it is that it's pretty basic test compared to what we're trying to do, which is cut out some people. So let me just suggest that we test it against a real image rather than some synthetic data here. I'd like the Smoog test to work against a real sample image. You can find in the screen caps. Okay. Let's see what it does this time then. So I was thinking, okay, it's telling me it's a great idea. Thanks, Gemini, for making me feel better. Okay, load real assets. Okay, let's just see if we can get this one working, and then I'll probably ask it to move the sample data out of that screen caps folder. Implement. Okay, I can run off and implement. Still not going to fix this problem, I don't think. Still not going to suddenly make everything work, but let's... What I wouldn't mind doing is actually testing this image here. The one from yesterday. See whether it can successfully cut out 3 people rather than 2, and where 3 people are vertical versus horizontal. Okay. Okay, so the implementation was pretty easy. Now it's going to give this a run. Right. I still don't want it to push to remote. Okay. I think because a lot of us, the 3 of us, just coming in and out of this project, we haven't really got a nice, clean workflow defined for the agents to follow. So it's all a little bit haphazard. Okay, successfully implemented. Test now runs against screen cap successfully. Converts real image. Sends the request to the background removal API. Decodes the response back into a pillow image object. Searches the image has an alpha channel. Directly checks the pixel map to set the area, remove the background by ensuring at least 1 transparent pixel. I guess that's okay. Still doesn't feel very robust test. Just having a single transparent pixel there. I don't want to spend too much time iterating over this for now, but let's just leave it like that, so at least we know that it's running, not crashing. Let's ask it now to take a look here at these errors. And see what it makes of those. I mean, I guess we did change the app.jsx, so yeah. If there are errors in the UI, maybe that's not a surprise. The errors from the browser console. Okay. So it's connection problems. I can see. Okay, what's it going to say to me now? Checking for the environment files. Okay. I am enjoying using Z. I mean, I'm using it a huge amount, mostly actually on these streams and a little bit outside. More typically, I'll use something like Pi coding agent or something. But I figure for the streams, it's easier for everyone to see kind of more what's going on, like project structure, and it's, I think, visually easier to follow inside a tool like Z. But I'm quite enjoying using it, I have to say. I need to dig a bit deeper, get some of the shortcuts into muscle memory, and sort of generally just sort of live with it a little bit. One of the things that's not there yet is that I found anyway is maybe let's have a look for it. Is oh, actually, sorry, I didn't want to look at MCP servers. But I did want to look at LLM providers. Hold on. I did not see. Say we got open code. This is what I'm using. I haven't seen Pi as a agents option here, so maybe I'll try and build one so that I can use it. Because I think that would probably be what would stop me using at the moment, using Z more extensively, is not having being able to use Pi from within it. I'm starting to enjoy Pi. Yeah. Still kind of getting to grips with some of the things from Pi, but it just seems pretty bare bones, and that's quite nice. Okay. So okay. Am I missing something here now? It's been sitting on the waiting confirmation screen for a little while, or the waiting for confirmation message here. Read. Oh, hold on, wait. I think I killed it by mistake. Okay. Let's do this. Let's browse that error. Okay. Process it follows, thoroughly examining. So what's it doing? Extra measurement details. I mean, this is blurb really. Environment variables. Okay. It's not super interesting. Okay, he's found the root cause here. Error on port 5001. Now, was this problem that Enrique was falling into yesterday? I think, and he had actually 5000 was blocked somehow. So we really need to get, yeah, we need to get that into a environment variable. Some plan mode economic changes. What's it planning to do? Fix the Vite config. So loads repository root env as intended. Yep. Fix the fallback constants to find. Okay. I think we might, when Enrique comes in again, we might be hitting this again. Execute. But we'll let it fix itself for today. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I think that's going to do it. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's then kill the dev server. Let's start that up again. Okay. Just kill this console. I think I don't really need that. Okay. And this is kind of slow on this machine, but I think we'll get there in the end. There we go. There we go. We're back in business. Now let's try that one that someone put up. Yes, I think, here we go. This was the one from yesterday, I guess. And there are 3 people in the photo. It'd be interesting to see how well it does extracting us all. Well, okay, not great, not terrible. I wonder whether there's some sort of tolerances that we could do. Yeah, I mean, these sort of headshots are pretty bad, to be honest with you. And that one's not usable at all. Pretty rough. So feels like for some basic things it's working, but yeah, we're gonna have to refine that. But the good news is that the refactoring, I think, worked okay. So let's have a look in the front end here. So, okay, app.jsx, I'm not going to read through it all, but yeah, much more manageable, much better. Okay, never liked really utils, but there you go. That's we got the hooks, we've got the UI components in there. Okay. Let's go back to refactoring plan and just look at the back end refactoring. So where did we get to? Okay, proposed refactoring plan. So that's front-end componentization. I guess that's done. Separation of apply. Okay, let's do this refactoring as well. So we at least have a front end and back ends equally refactored and in switch back into plan mode. Planned work to do phase 2 backend separation of concerns. Now I should remember at the end of it to update the, what have we got here? We've got technical something, right? Technical document. So I should get the Gemini to update that before we close out today. Okay. So it shouldn't need to think too hard, I don't think. There's got quite a few hints up here. I didn't tell it to look at the refactoring plan. Hopefully it would know it's going to do that. I could always ask it to double check against the refactoring plan, but we'll probably be able to just eyeball whether it's going to be doing the right thing. Let's have a look here. Backend services. Okay, yeah, so functions and services, okay. Model validation. JSON validation, okay. Extract HTTP routes, yep, okay, that's fine. Slim down app.py, okay. After refactoring, run some tests, okay. Proposal mentions create schema.py or use a library like Pydantic to handle JSON. Yeah, let's keep it live. So it's asking whether we want to use Pydantic. I think for something a bit more serious, we probably would. I think we're trying to keep this. It's a pretty small tool just for us, so it's not got to be bulletproof. So let's just say stick to built in data classes. Validation. Oh, okay. It's pretty forgiving with typos, which is lucky. Actually, the lagginess of this machine at the moment makes typos pretty much inevitable. Okay, another question. Why is it asking? No, it's not asking me that again. Okay. 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 that's fine. Okay, let's switch into build mode. Is it doing that? Yep, thanks. Execute. Yeah, it's saying I will drop out of plan mode and implement it. I don't think it can do that on its own, of course, but anyway, it's eager to execute, which is good. Okay, it's kind of done this already, feels like. Shouldn't need to do too much thinking, but anyway. So what's the to-do list or the plan? It's put together 8 tasks and starts with a schema for validation. The backend services come next. Okay, the renderer. These data classes from schema. Routes moves to an endpoint. Refactor app. Okay, yeah. So yeah. Okay. Yeah, this plan data is pretty helpful. I like how it's how you can see this in the Z UI. Pretty easy to watch what's going on, because in reality, once the agent's running and doing some work, usually hop into another task rather than sit there and stare at the screen. So there's a lot of task hopping going on, and it's pretty good when you can see, okay, you can see where things get to. So that's pretty good. I think I'm just gonna kill the running process for now anyway, because I think we're gonna want to run that from scratch all the same. I think what I'll also ask Gemini to do is update, make some sort of annotations to the refactoring plan to kind of state which ones have been done and which ones haven't, so that when we get into another session, if we want to come back and do more refactoring again, it doesn't have to trawl through the entire project to figure out what's been done or not, and it's a bit easier for it to know where it's got to in this session. Okay. Okay, we're kind of halfway through. 4 out of 8. Yeah, it's really tempting at this stage to, whilst waiting, to hop into something else, check out, look at my inbox, or maybe even jump into another project and get that progress a little bit more. So it's pretty unnatural sitting here waiting quite so much for agents to get things done. I guess when there are multiple of us on stream, it's easy, we can just keep talking, but doing this solo is a bit yeah, less exciting to sit here and wait. Okay, but that's great. We're kind of close to the end now. Oh yeah, we want, okay, we'll just allow, for now, just always allow. Yeah. Mm. Now the smoke test, actually, that's going to fail, right? Because we haven't got a running running instance, but we didn't want the running instance because we're making these refactoring. So let's see what it does. I mean, it's gonna bomb out on the smoke tests. Unless it's, yeah, it might try to run everything in the background actually. Let's see what it does. I think it will detect that I guess that's maybe what it's doing right now. Thinking. Okay, now that was testing the back end, prepare the back end functionality. It's gone eerily silent. What's it doing? There's not a massive amount of feedback as to what's going on at this stage. But it's still working on something. Okay. Well, that was slow. That was very slow. Okay, good. So it's starting everything up. Great. And okay, maybe I had some problems starting up. It would be quite nice to be able to see that output, to be honest. I guess it's a tricky balance between not having too much output so you get overwhelmed and it's just a wall of text, and some visibility as to what's going on, right? So but it's struggling, I think, to I suspect my system monitor would tell an interesting tale. Let's just open that up for a sec. Power statistics, system monitor. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, the CPUs are thrashing quite a lot at the moment because I guess Z is making them work hard. Yeah. Yeah, it's not really something. Anyway, this I'm using a laptop currently, or kindly given to me by a friend of mine, but it's just not going to hack it for this. It's just not powerful enough. It's anyway. It's a fairly old ThinkPad, which is kind of okay for a bunch of things, but yeah, I'm gonna. It's not good. Zed's not liking it. So I think part of the slowness today is just this machine is just, yeah, getting crushed. So I think I might switch to, where is it? I might switch to one of my other machines. I haven't really got a machine I really like at the moment, I have to be honest. But I don't want to rush out and buy new stuff. So just trying to keep my old gear running as much as I can. Mostly it's going to, okay, actually I don't use, I mean, I run Linux all the time, but don't really use sort of GNOME on Ubuntu very much, just for streaming actually. It's not super heavyweight, but it's not the lightest weight either. But that's not the problem here. The problem here is more Z running without GPU or NVIDIA GPU. Okay, it'll get there. It'll get there in the end. It's nice and toasty warm though. That's a good thing. Before I started the stream, it's been pretty cold at the moment, so I was feeling pretty chilled. But now my hands on this nice warm laptop, that's not a problem. So plenty of passive heating going on during the stream. What did it say? Focus on data. Okay, it's not really telling me too much helpful stuff. So it'd be interesting to build an extension in Z. I think it's a Rust toolchain, and I think they do something like they compile their extensions into a WASM runtime or something like that. So I haven't done any Rust at all, but I guess just vibe code it, you know. I guess if I'm just using it for myself, if I can get an extension working that uses Pi in the background, that would be pretty neat. Add that to my list of projects. Feels like my list of projects is constantly growing at the moment. Okay. Well, we're hopefully pretty close to completing this, running the smoke tests. But we're grinding to a halt slowly. Okay. Right, that's completed. That's great. Okay, so hopefully the git commit won't take more than a couple of seconds. But I think we'll start up the server in the meantime. And let's just do a kind of human check. Everything's working okay. Because it should be fine. I mean, the smoke tests, well, yeah, I think it should be all right. Let's see. Okay, 1571, 5173, I mean. What's Gemini? Gemini's just give me a bunch of summary of what it did. Okay, we'll come and look at that in a minute. And let's just give this a quick go. Now we're being a bit lazy because I haven't really checked the editor screen yet, which is probably what I should do next. Okay, well, let's just take another one. I think it's had a problem with that in the past, that one, where it didn't split us out into two images. Let's just... I'd have thought that one would be quite an easy one to split. Okay, that one went better. Okay, so there's probably still a bit of bugginess in there, but okay. Okay, this is just kind of visual check looking. It's okay. Then we wanted to add. Let's just kind of add one of these. Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's all of this screen here. We'll work on tomorrow. Juhani had some ideas what he wanted to do here, so I'll leave that to him. But yeah, okay. So far so good. But yeah, this is the thing. As I said, these images, I mean, refresh the screen and everything's being blasted. So we might want to put something in that's a little bit more robust than that. Okay, I'm just going to try and close this out by doing two more things. Not really code things. I want to update the refactoring plan to reflect the changes we made. So I don't think we need to go into plan mode for this. Let's just say update factoring plan.md to reflect the framework already done. So we know what was implemented in the previous session. Okay, full stop, it's not needed. Okay, so hopefully it'll just make a couple of things where it just marks things as sort of done in the markdown. Yeah, I guess the doc directory does exist, and I just told you about it. So I don't know why I have to check that again. So gonna do a bit of thinking. Okay. I don't know this was said whether this reflects dynamically. This is not looking like it, right? So what happens if in the docs we open the refactoring plan again? Oh, I see. I've got a bunch of things at the bottom here. Oh, I see the check marks. Okay, that's fine. I think that's kind of good enough. Pending, check complete. Okay, I think that's good. Then the last thing I thought would be to be neat and tidy, we just update the technical documentation to reflect the refactoring. Update the technical documentation. Right, the refactoring. As always, beautiful documentation, is keeping it up to date. It's a hell of a lot easier now than it has been in the past. Still have to remember to do it though. But it's not much work. There we go. Yeah, Gemini's pretty verbose, right? I mean, this stuff's kind of useful, I guess, to know. I mean, again, this is back to this topic of like how much information is enough versus too much. But yeah, I mean, what have we got now? Now he's dumped the whole piece in here, right? Okay. I guess I didn't really need to see the whole thing output here, but anyway. Oh well. API endpoints. Okay. Okay. And we're done. Okay, I think I'm done as well. I think I'm gonna. Okay, commits. Okay. I think I'm gonna call it a day today. Tomorrow, I think we're back, Juhani and I. Not sure about Enrique. He started something new today, so I think he's gonna be pretty busy for a little bit. And yeah, we'll be back on stream tomorrow. And with two of us, hopefully that's a little bit more entertaining. And we're going to try and get the functionally complete at least. I didn't really want to go too hard on functional changes today on my own, and because I know Juhani's got some ideas of what he wants to do, so I didn't want to make that difficult or pull in the wrong direction there between the two of us. Anyway, guess I'll see you tomorrow. If this is going to stop. Let's kill this here. Too much lagginess. Please. Yeah. Okay, we're not quite out yet. Still streaming. Still asking Riverside to kind of stop the stream here. Let's see. Not sure if I want to brute force it shut, but I will do if it's not gonna play ball. Okay, I'm just gonna kill it. All right, see you guys.